What it do, Southside Gang, and welcome back to another LT Reacts, man. And today, bro, we got 7 reasons why Pistol Pete would have destroyed today's NBA players. Now, look, I've done a video on Pistol Pete before, man. I know what type of ball handling he got. When I say my man got the basketball on a string, my man got the basketball on a string. But, man, this is 7 reasons why he would destroy NBA players today. Only reason why I think he would, this is just one of my reasons. I don't know what the 7 reasons are. My reason would be his control of the ball, because Kyrie don't got it. I don't see anybody else with handles the way he handles the ball. I'm not saying that Kyrie and other players aren't elite ball handlers, but when it comes to Pistol Pete, I feel like he was part of a magic show. That's what I'm gonna be real with. But we're gonna go ahead and get into this video, man. But before I press this play button, if this is your first time seeing me on your screen or you're a returning subscriber, make sure y'all leave me a like and subscribe to the channel. It don't mean nothing to subscribe to the channel. As long as you hit the button, you might like what you see. If you don't, you always can unsubscribe. But, man, let's go ahead and get into the video and see what's going on.
All right, I would say let's start with number 1, Pistol Pete's shooting. No, there are not many players in NBA history that were as good of a shooter as Pistol Pete. Yes, he sometimes...
Well, what was them? I ain't never seen them shoes before. Anybody know what these shoes are? Them Adidas? Because I ain't never known them to have 2 lines.
Of a shooter as Pistol Pete. Yes, he sometimes took pretty difficult shots, but the thing was that he made most of them. In the face of 1 defender, 2 defenders, or even 3. He was not only able to create his own shot, but he was dangerous from everywhere around the court. He had a nice pull-up jumper and was unstoppable shooting-wise. He may only shot 44% from the field over his career, but what many people overlook is that he shot most of his shots from 3-point range. And then 44% from the field is actually pretty good. We also have to remember that only in his last 2 seasons the NBA started to record 3-pointers. And then he shot 66% from downtown. Another thing was he had Steph Curry range, but the huge difference was back in the days people did not make such a fuss about it.
Goodness gracious. It's hard to describe somebody that was about 6'6", 6'7", handle the ball as well or better than myself. He just didn't shoot the basketball. He was a pure shooter.
And the next reason was his general scoring ability. Now, if you think that Pistol Pete was just a shooter, you would be wrong. As I already mentioned earlier, Pistol was able to create his own shot.
24 for 5 and on 44%. And with him saying it was from deep, bro, with that being mostly 3 balls, but counted as 2, can we round this number up and say on average, he averaged about 36 points a game? To be honest, like if these are 3 balls, if he's saying they're from 3-ball range, I'm giving it the benefit of the doubt and saying, let's say 4 or 5 of them were from behind the arc. That would put him at about 36 points a game. That makes Pistol Pete probably one of the best basketball players in history. To be honest, I mean, now he is already, but you get what I'm saying? He would have more claim and more people would be known more wide if he had that 3-point accuracy. And then he said it went up to 66% when they went ahead and added the 3-point line. So, you see what I'm saying? 6'5",
he was able to penetrate, blow by the defender, and make some unbelievable shots. It also did help that he had sensational handles and would set the basis for moves that you see in today's NBA. I mean, there was a reason why he would average more than 40 points per game in college.
He could handle the ball, he could shoot the ball in different angles. I mean, he could flip the ball with his left hand over here and it hit the board and shoot right in the basket. I mean, he was Mike before Mike, so that's what I'm hearing him. This guy saying Mike before Mike, because Mike do stuff like that. Mike throw it way up at the top, he hit the top of the glass and fall in. Mike do a spin move, hit you with the up under, and it go in. You're like, why is this shot going in? How does that make sense? It defies logic, and that's what makes historical players. So if Pistol Pete was doing stuff like this, he was Mike before Mike. He was uncanny.
Oh, look at that, yeah.
He was sort of creating not only great basketball, but great theater as well.
What's LSU?
Only 2 players have led the NCAA in scoring for 3 consecutive years, and that's Oscar Robertson and Pete Maravich.
The game in 1970, where he breaks Oscar Robertson's record, is really anticipated as the crowning achievement in the career of both father and son.
Now they've added 10 to 12, 15 more games per year, and nobody is ever going to come remotely close to his records. What a touch. 44 points per game.
to give you an idea of how good that is, second place is Austin Carr, Notre Dame, at 34.6. Maravich just blew away the field.
And the next reason that I have on my list is Pete's passing ability.
So Maravich is, so his real name is just Pete Maravich, my bad, and Pistol is just the name they gave him, right? Or is Pistol really his name? Because if that's his name, bro, that's a cold name. You get what I'm saying? Like, hey, come here, Pistol. Let me talk to you, Pistol. Let me talk to you real quick, Pistol.
Now, Pistol Pete was a score-first player, no doubt about that. But he was blessed with a so-called passing gift.
Oh, man.
He had sensational court vision and would throw some of the most beautiful passes that I've ever seen in my entire life. Precise, accurate, just beautiful. At that time, there were hardly any players who would average more than 25 points per game plus 5 assists. Again, making him even more unstoppable, scoring mindset with a deadly pass.
The wrist passes, the fake behind the back, the way he would fake passes that the entire world would react to, and then he'd pull it back and stroke the shot.
You take that ball and you go right here and you go, and the ball goes on the other side.
And the next reason that I have on my list is Pistol Pete's.
Pistol. What the fuck was that? What was that? Let's go back. Oh no. What? Hold on. Pistol, do that again.
You take that ball and you go right here and you go, and the ball goes on the other side.
And
so if I'm passing this way, I could get my man in the back of me. I could be like, oh, got it.
Next reason that I have on my list is Pistol Pete's work ethic.
I might have to use that in the street ball game. Hey, y'all want to see me try some of this crazy shit? I mean, this crazy stuff in a pickup game, go to the park and record it. Go ahead and tell me in the description. I mean, in the comments, bro. I'll go ahead. I'll go to the park and run these and try some of this stuff.
There are not many players in NBA history that had the work ethic of Pistol Pete.
Ooh, look at that.
In case you didn't know, when he was a kid, he would get up at 5 a.m. in the morning, do his workout before school, come back after school, and train for the rest of the day. He was a loner, which is why he dedicated his entire time to basketball. This is what made him outwork anybody. He also came up with so many drills that are used even in today's NBA. If he was still alive, he would show many of the young guys in the NBA what true work ethic is.
Now, would you advise?
Hold on, with the, you see me coming? I'm coming back this way. You thought it was over. Now I'm coming back. Did you see that? Behind that is. Hold on.
That are used even in today's NBA.
Watch this.
If he was still alive, he would show many of the young guys in the NBA what true work ethic is.
Now, would you advise young players out there to do those things?
A kid needs speed, quickness, and ability to have coordination, and through these drills that I do, particularly, it really helped my game.
And the next reason that I have on my list is Pete Maravich's creativity. You would think that 40 years after Pistol Pete's last NBA game, you would find NBA players that were able to copy all of his moves. But no. He came up with so many special moves that some of them you see in today's NBA, and some of them you haven't seen since his retirement.
Hey, hold up. I want y'all to see this again. Hey, that is a crazy catch and shoot. Just imagine tossing it behind your back, catching it, and popping it. One motion, bro. All off balance. Look at that.
All of his moves. But no. He came up with so many special moves that some of them you see in today's NBA, and some of them you haven't seen since his retirement. He was a
Would that be considered a pass to self in today's game? I don't think so. I feel like that's not, because he threw it behind him. And he still dribbled it. He kept it in motion. He was still moving. He never stopped dribbling. I wonder. That was a good one.
Creative genius. Again, which was a result of him spending hours and hours in the gym all by himself. That's why when you see players like Jason Williams, aka White Chocolate, when they came along, you would say they were the reincarnation of Pistol Pete or the new Pistol Pete, because Pistol Pete was the beginning. And the last reason, so coming in at number 7, is what NBA legends that actually played against Pistol Pete have to say. So let's take a look at some of the greatest players of all time talking about Pistol Pete Maravich.
Okay. He would just bounce around out there, and the ball just seemed like it was something that he had from the time he was in a cradle, creating different ways in which to just display his love for the game. And here was a guy who was a basketball genius.
Hey, hold on. Hey, hold on. Hey, I got a question. And this is a real question. This is deep. Do Pistol Pete wear 44 because he averaged 44 in college? I just thought about that. He averaged 44. He's the only player in NBA history to average 44 in college. So is that why he wears number 44? Somebody let me know. Because that right there, that would have had me mad all fucking day if I was on the court with this nigga. What? He legit wears 44.
He was a guy who was a basketball genius.
It seems like a guy the game was boring.
Because he wore 10 at LSU. He chose that number to remind y'all he dropped 44.
So he had to create things to keep him interested.
What?
Pete just has so much razzle-dazzle in his game. He was just hard to guard.
I'm sick.
The way he handled the basketball so flippantly and so sort of carelessly really offended a lot of basketball purists.
Yeah, I know they didn't like it.
What Pistol would do, he would take the ball.
But what I call that, bro, when I see players who do that, when I see artists, like music artists, entrepreneurs, basketball players, and it goes away from the norm of what the game actually was, like fundamentals, do fundamentals. When I see that, I call that the soul. Why? And black people call it soul. You know, if you grew up in the 80s, 90s, even the 2000s, you know what soul is. Soul is the heart of the game. Like, it's the difference. It's what makes the beautiful magic gift of the game. And it goes against the norm. People don't like soul. They don't like soul because soul is like having rhythm. You get what I'm saying? And when you got rhythm and it's not all 1 2 1 2 hut, you know, like in the army, it's not like that. It's a difference. And Pistol Pete just got soul, and he's super bad. You know what I'm saying?
Set it behind his back, catch the ball, and shoot. That was sweet.
Wow, hook shot.
He was a true entertainer, and I think he looked at entertainment more than basketball.
He used his basketball as a form of self-expression, and one of the real leaders in bringing basketball into this sort of area of artistry. It was like his form of art.
Pete was a showman. Played the game with a tremendous flair.
Pete Maravich was so far ahead of his time, he was 10 plays ahead of everyone else. The legendary following that Pete Maravich...
Hold on, that was deep. Because this is the arc. They wouldn't lie when they said boy has stepped
of everyone else.
Wow.
The legendary following that Pete Maravich has is the truest testament to how great he was, because this was a guy who made SEC basketball what it is.
Also, he wore 22.
LSU was 3-20 the year before he joined the varsity, and suddenly he was drawing people all over the place. It was like a phenomenon, almost like an Elvis Presley kind of situation, where people would just go in droves to see this kid and what they called showtime, which surrounded him.
I always said, man, that ball looks like a part of his hand. And I said, he must spend a lot of time dribbling and able to shoot the way he can shoot.
You know, it's kind of unfortunate that some players don't get the respect that they deserve, and Pistol Pete, in my opinion, is one of those players. If we take a look at today's NBA and you see some of the crazy moves that they are doing now, well, Pistol Pete did those moves 50 years ago. In my books, he's one of the best players of all time and also one of the most underrated players of all time. All right, you guys, that was it for today's...
All right, man. Yeah, that was a good video, man. Pistol Pete, bro. Look, man, that string, bro. When I agree with Larry Bird, it's like he got that rock on a string. And he was just he was a whole vibe and a half, and I mean that in a respectable way. He a whole vibe. Players today, I agree with the statement. I want to make that very clear. I agree with the statement that he would probably destroy a lot of players in today's game because he does have a 3-ball, which makes him very dominant. He can get to the rack. He's like a Kyrie Irving, but a better version of him when it comes to the dribbling, when it comes to the scoring at the basket. He could do stuff. You could add, I feel like you could put him on OKC right now, and they would make a title run. Just him. I'm not saying add more players, but if you just took those and put them together, I would say, yeah, they would make a run for the playoffs, man. But, man, if you guys did enjoy this video, man, and y'all want to see me react to more Pistol Pete or more NBA players, y'all know the drill. Drop the comment down in the description down there, and let me know if some more people y'all want me to check out, man. But I'm going to go ahead and get up out of here. LT is out. Peace.